So how do I, immigrant with nothing behind my back, how can I obtain property with acreage? So this is what was advised on a class, what we're supposed to be looking for. It should be like a land with acres with good zoning. I don't know like what you already went through this class. Maybe you already studied. I don't want to go too far into this. But always check the zoning anyway, because lots of people come and say, oh, this is awesome land. This is 50 acres. This is so great. I'm going to move here. And then they buy it and they found that half of it wetlands and you cannot do anything. It's protected by the law. Or it has homeowners association and said you only can have 2 dogs and a cat. You cannot have any cows, sheep. You cannot have any animals, and they tell you how a building should be built, and they control everything in your life and stuff like that. So acres, of course, you want acres so you can grow food. So climate should be good for growing. You can also should look for water source, preferably 2 or more water sources on your property. Should be at least trees or some alternative for heating. And was very important in the book that you need to have source of income. Because, okay, some people make a move and they don't think about this, and then they move and they, okay, what do I do here? Just trees and me, how do I make it? You still have to pay taxes even if you grow your food, right? You still have to pay things. And it has to have a church or community. And for me, it was important. Ellen White was looking always for a property for herself, was a scenic music. It's not necessarily, but it's what I want. And so to have all that and have no money, like how do you do this, right? So we started to pray with my husband and my kids, like, so God can do something, and that happened. Um, yeah. So meanwhile, lots of people look for this and they think, well, I don't have money. Like, what do I do? So God wants us to do next step. So if you cannot move yet, start doing something that makes you ready for that, right? Start learning things that you already can learn, like a gardening, food preservation, how to plant an orchard, medicinal plants, like simple building skills, how to operate equipment, how to operate chainsaw, read lots of books, how to do Dutch oven, survival classes. There's lots of things to learn because then you move there. All of that is needed. So that's me and my husband in 2017. And this video praying so God can help us and do something for us. And that happened that one of my customers, I was doing house cleaning services, and I always, when I do cleaning services, I try to put something more than just money onto the, to get from people. It should be like anything we do as Christians should be a ministry, right? No, in any place, in any business, in any job, you can talk to people, you can pray to people, with people, you can do something nice to people. And there was one particular person, she was lonely, she had nobody, and she told me once that she has a surgery. Next week she will have surgery and she has nobody to pick you up, so I can pick you up. And I found out that she can't cook and all the food she eats is from cans. This is horrible. I mean, how you can do this? It's just terrible. So then she had a birthday and while I was cleaning, I just simply did her mashed potatoes, fried egg, and just leaf salad. The simplest, while I was cleaning just, because I had to work. And that's your birthday breakfast. And she, that's the best food I ate like in 10 years. I was like, wow. And so after that, when we had any, with my husband, he likes to cook, we had any parties and holidays or anything. And some of my workers were driving by. I said, well, can you just drop a couple boxes of food to her? So we became friends and stuff. It can be another just long story to tell about relationship, but things happened that she died suddenly of kidney failure because all these years of unhealthy eating and things, they kind of were hard on her. And then lawyer called and said, she left you a house. And she left your house with everything in it, including jewelry, dishes, furniture, car, everything. And she made it that way. She said, I want I want to make sure she doesn't have to pay a penny to have this house. Because then my friends, they heard this and said, well, by the time you pay lawyers, half of the house will be gone. Because this is how much they charge for like all this paperwork and, it's very expensive even if you inherit something. So now we had a house and we prayed that God lead us somewhere to the country. And we made a map when we prayed. Like, okay, so what do we want? Because then you want to move somewhere. You don't move it, don't do something just like, impulsively. You need to plan. You need to think, what do I want? How do I want it? Make a picture in your head. Talk to your wife, talk to your children. Make it real. And then God will do, because God says, like, I know wishes of those who love me, and I like satisfy them. So that's what we put on our map, the house, and I wanted a big old tree by the house. It's always both my dream, so I can put like a big tire for kids. But it has to have a big tree next to the house. And since, like, what do you do in the woods for income, right? How can you make income in the woods if you live nowhere in the national forest border, by the national forest border? So I was like, well, either you do farming, and I am allergic to grass, to dirt, to everything, and that's not my thing. Or you grow animals and you kill them and you get meat and sell it, and that's not my thing too. So I said, well, I did cleaning business, right? I know how to clean well, so I need a hospitality business. That way, it will be something I can do. So I said, well, we should look for property, maybe 1 or 2 extra cabins, so we can rent out for tourists. That will be our income. And then the water source, we will put a creek, should be a creek, and then around, behind the creek should be something for mother-in-law to live, because mother-in-law lives with us. Should be some place for her, and it should be a pond. That's what we dreamed about. And then we wanted, there will be a fire pit up here, and there will be some trails, that you can go on snowmobiles or UTVs, and so you have to entertain people somehow, right? If they come to you. And it has to have acreage and it should be enough trees, because if you need wood for heating, then you have enough, right? So that was on our map, and we drew it like very nicely, and I put it in my Bible and I forgot about it. And we just keep praying during COVID. We had to stay home. We couldn't go far because of this limitation. So we could go just a little forest where no people. And this is when we go to forest. It was so pretty. That, oh, we should pray that God gives us some nice place like this. It was so pretty. And then the COVID was over. We said, well, let's go and look. We don't have money. And I tried to, even I was thinking, well, well, I don't want to make too long story, but so anyway, we went for the trip, and we went in Idaho because I thought that might be a good state to go, because we live in the United States and we live in Washington, because it's kind of conservative. There's not too many people. It has a different rules than liberal Washington, and the weather is good for growing. And we went up and down to Idaho and didn't like anything because, then you have a plan, then you have a map, you know what you want, right? You don't just come to any place and say, oh, that's it. Then, okay, so this is a great place, but it has no water. Or this is a wonderful place, but the climate is bad. You can't grow anything, right? Or that everything else matches, but there is no church or community or school, nothing. Like you have to, if you have kids, things like that. So every time something didn't match on the list. And then my husband said, let's go to the north side of town. Let's check that out. So we started to go in that way. And he says, let's take a scenic route. What happens when you take a scenic route? Yes, that's what we have. And then we got lost because there was no internet in the mountains and no direction. So we just took the road and we ended up in Montana. So then we came down the path, like, where are we? Like, I said, I don't know where are we, but I like it here. This is it. This is what we were looking for. It wasn't trashy, like there's all the broken cars and drinking people. It was nice, like all nice fences, the grass, beautiful cows, nice red houses, barns. Just drive by. And then right on highway, we drive in as a Seventh-day Adventist church. everything that we wanted to. And I said, wow, that's a place. This is it. Uh, so when we came home, I started Googling, looking like, what was it? Like, okay, it's a cabinet mountain range. Okay, good. So I started looking at the prices. Well, when you live in Washington, in Bellevue, that's one of the most expensive places like in America. That was even higher. Like, what? We can't afford it. That piece that we like, we can't afford. It's too expensive. It's too much. And there was one place particularly that I kind of liked visually. It's a very quick resort, and it had 14 cabins, and it had pictures there. And he wanted $2.5 million for it. I didn't even read what he said. Didn't even read any what descriptions. Like what's the point? I don't have 2.5 millions, and I'm not gonna loan that because it's end time living. I should be debt free, right? So I'm not even gonna bother. So I didn't even look at it, and that kept coming and kept coming. And in November, I finally read it, and he says for sale or trade. And by the time it was 1.5 million, I still like it doesn't matter like if it 1.5 or 10. If you don't have it, it doesn't make a difference for you. You don't have it. Um, so and he says for sale or trade. And I like to joke. That's my weak spot or strong quality. I don't know. This is how I got married. I just joked and I. And so I just made a joke. I wrote there right on Zillow, say, I have house in Bellevue. Wanna trade? That's it. And our house that came from that lady, it was old. You can see, like, it was very old house. It was built like, it came all grown up, and it took us like 3 big trucks of trash to take out, and all the backyard was overgrown, and it just, if you can see the pictures, it just was old, like old lady house. We were trying to make it nicer, but my husband did estimate, he's a contractor, and he said, well, it take us like, for the money how much you will spend on remodeling, we can build a new house. It's just everything was from pipes to walls to everything was old. Everything. You have to just start like almost from new. Um, so that was our dining room. That lady left us that house. Living room, there was a front door. That's the kids do some homeschool. I had some paste on the walls for them to learn. And so we were pretty happy there. But yeah, so that was pretty old house. And so then I joked. He says, next day the agent called, and the agent said, no, he's actually interested. And I just almost like a dropped it. What? Really? He said, yeah, he's actually interested. I told my husband that, we gotta go. Tomorrow we're going to Montana. And, the husbands, they don't react like that fast. They need a preparation, like a week or two, like to process. And like, we're going to, what? Why are we going to, like, come on, we need to go. This is such a cool opportunity. So he was very skeptical, but okay. So we went there, and then we came to the place. I knew it was it because it was exactly like in our map, just like on our map, every single item. So this is this is our house there, and there is a big tree. There's actually 3 big trees behind, and there is a deck, there is a jacuzzi there. So this is our living room. It's not in the best order. I just found a regular picture without any preparation, and there was cabins, and there were more cabins than I could imagine. So I was thinking 1 or 2, maybe 3. It was 14. So there was 14 cabins. So basically, they have two levels, up and down. This was 2, so it makes it 14 if and it's 16,000 square feet of cleaning space. Not including my own house. The ladies know, like, ladies laugh. The guys say, 16,000 square feet, who cares? So these are the cabins. See, there's upstairs level and downstairs. Each of them has a separate cabin. So there was like a 14 of those. And this is the area around. See, this is a fireplace as I wanted to, and some recreational area. And these are the cabins, if you see the close-up shot. And this is inside. So then I got them, they were pretty dirty because they rented out to some workers, but it's okay, I kind of cleaned it, and it took me 3 months to clean them because they were like really bad. But this is how they look now. So this is the lower cabins on the lower floor, and the bathroom. Each cabin has its own theme, like a bear cabin, wolf cabin, deer cabin, things like that. So that's the cabins for the lower floor. They're all different thing, and this is upper level cabins. Nice, right? And all furniture came with it. All furniture, everything in the cabin. I only changed the sheets, towels, and blankets and pillows. Everything else, and dishes, I bought dishes. Everything else came with it. So that's upper. And this one, the bathroom up there, that one we remodeled this summer. One of the cabins to make a big cabin. And it's a really nice jet. And this tub we found someone posted online for $150. It was like $1,000 tub, and my husband is plumber, so he just we gotta get it like for $150. It's a really good price. So he made it, and he made walls himself too from epoxy. And then it had a lodge. See this red building in the middle? So that's a lodge where we can do meetings. So we have, see, this is a group came from Oregon for survival class, and this is a lodge from this other side, and this is lodge inside. So this was one of the family programs we did there, and this was one of the Pesach, some people did it. So where we live, we have around 200 people keeping Sabbath, but not Seventh-day Adventists. They are feast keepers. So we keep everything in the Bible plus feasts. And some Seventh-day Adventists in the church, they're kind of resentful to them. They just don't want to do anything with them. But wow, this is awesome. These people already know truth. They keep Sabbath, everything. We just need to, continue working with them. So every time they want to do something, in a holiday, Pesach, or they want to do Hanukkah, I say, yeah, come for free. Yes, yes. And I make friends with them. And some of them start coming to church now. So that's what they do Passover. They made it really nicely. And this is Hanukkah. And every time we have like a group come in that's like all busy. And this is some preaching going, some family reunion here. And then on the bottom floor of the lodge, there is a game room. So kids can play. So there's a birthday parties there and whatever you want. So if people just come with kids, they come and play. There's lots of board games, all sorts of activities. And then, so I was wondering, okay, if you move to the country, so if I'm too long, you let me know because I can jump right to the point. Okay, so who thinks if it's too long, let me know because I can make it faster. Okay. So when we moved to the country, in that book, in the You Can Survive book, Ellen White says there was a quote. So in the last days, then the trouble comes. There will be lots of sickness. And then God's people, they will have no source of income. If you know natural remedies, how to use them, you always will have bread. Because there will be lots of suffering people. So she says you need to learn all this natural stuff because there will not be access to the store-bought medication. There will be so much going on that industry that produce medication right now will simply not work or not work enough or will not be available, right? So then I moved there. I said, well, that's the first thing I need to learn. I need to learn all these remedies. Like, how do I learn? And then I found the classes are very expensive. If you want to learn something, it costs a lot of money. So I thought that's what I will do. I will make classes at the resort. and you have people sign up for the classes, and the classes will go on, and I will just sit there and learn for free. That would be awesome. I didn't make any money on the classes. It wasn't my income, but I didn't spend any money. So people come, they pay for classes, they got information, and while they were learning, I was learning too. So it's every class, and it costs a lot. Like one class sometimes costs $1,000. Those people are very expensive. So this was a class. She came. She's amazing. She lives off grid, completely off grid, and she almost doesn't buy any food at the store. She produces her food and she stores the food. Very interesting. She's not even Seventh Day Adventist, but also I'm sometimes surprised that people in the world are more aware than Seventh Day Adventists. Seven and the Adventists sometimes we're kind of asleep. Like, oh, well, time is coming. We heard about many times, many times. Don't it come? They have these beautiful pictures. I move to the country. I'll grow my food. I will do this. I'll do that. You know, it's not that easy. Like then you move to the country. It's 4 years now. I am still learning, and it's hard. Sometimes I feel discouraged. You know, even with that big miracle behind my back. So it's not like you move and instantly you are like farmer. It's not that easy. Yeah. So she was teaching us like about food preservation and long-term preservation, microgreens, how to make breads with the sourdough, uh, and many other secrets. It was very interesting class she taught. Then we had a class on natural remedies. We had first aid kit from natural remedies. So you can have at home. Basically, you can treat almost any minor health problems with the natural remedies. It was very interesting. It was all hands-on class. All classes are hands-on. It's not just people sit and listen. They do things every time, which we will be doing today. So I didn't want you to be like listening and go, we will do something fun today too, if you have time. And then we had cooking class, and because we had back without pain class, and this doctor was very interested. He came. He also did adjustments, and people who had back pain like for years, they suddenly didn't have back pain anymore. And like he does miracles on the back, and he's certified doctor. And then we had survival classes for the youth. That was so much fun to do. Yeah, I can start fire without matches myself. Even my son, the small one, can do it. And then this one is a skin healing salve, and this is honey infusion for nervous system, which I learned how to make and experimented myself. And this is just amazing stuff. If you have problems sleeping, if you like, nervous, like sometimes someone yells at you, you come from work or some stress, and you kind of try to sleep, and you just feel like all these events keep going through your head. You can't relax and anything. There's herbs in there, so you just take a couple spoons. There's honey and herbs in there, no alcohol, nothing, and you make a tea and you drink it, and it just is just. And no side effects. You don't need to take a sleeping pills. It's just so nice. It just literally. The doctor Natalie was talking about depression. When I came from all this busy life in the city, I didn't realize I had a depression because you always like you run. You don't even realize that there is problem in your mental system. Like you don't really have energy to run anymore, right? So you just keep going because you have to. But after I started taking this, I had so much energy. Like I become a new person because all this inside stress, it was healed out, and I started having energy and running and enjoying life and be happy and all that stuff. And it didn't cost a penny except the honey, and no medication from the store, no side effects, nothing. So that was really fun. And if you want, I can teach you how to make it. It's really easy. Anybody can make it. It's also safe for kids if your kid doesn't want to sleep and have some problem. Some kids are very sensitive, they just get overstimulated. You can give a little bit in the water, and it's just really good. And the other one is skin healing salve. It's something I always take with me any place I go. There's 2 bottles here. So I didn't prepare to do presentation because Don wasn't sure if he have enough time. So there was just like extremely fast, and I just brought whatever I have with me that I usually take. with me. So this healing staff, I make it from all the herbs in my property. And so that's what it does. It heals the wounds, scars, it disinfects, it builds new cells. It works as a lubricant if you need to. Like if you have red eyes, if you have sores. I had a cracks in my hair. And also I had a surgery, maybe in May, I had a surgery, that hemorrhoid surgery. And doctor said, this is the most painful surgery you can have. Are you sure you want to have it? I said, yes, I just want, I'm prepared because I have all these remedies and everything. She said, you'll be in pain for 3 weeks. You will not be able to work. You will be in a horrible pain for 3 weeks. You need to be prepared. And you need to stay home because you can't do anything. I went to work in 3 days. When they sent me home, they had me painkillers, this big bag, including morphine. I didn't take single one. So all these natural remedies, I just use myself, and I use some other herbs and other things from all the natural stuff, and in 3 days, and it healed like in 1 week. No pain at all. I didn't take any pain medication. So this is like really effective. It's good for like a baby rash to put on babies. It's good for or if you have like a sunburn from sun. I had a very sensitive skin. If it gets like red, nothing would help, and it gets red every time on the sun, and it will peel off. So it's the first time in my life I applied something. Because like if it gets red, I put it on. In the morning, it's nothing. No redness, no peeling. It's just like nice skin. And also, when I work, I said, then you have a property in the country. It's a hard work. So I had to learn how to use chainsaw. I know how to use chainsaw. And then sometimes I work all day, and those brush and branches, and I have all the like. I come home and feel like I was tortured. Like I have red, like all of this red, and you still can see bruises on my legs all over. And then I come home, and usually it just goes for like a week or two. But if you put this on, this stuff at night, in the morning you come, there's no redness, there is no itching, there is no nothing. And this one also helps with the stings. Any sting, like bee sting, mosquito, wasp, anything. Whatever is itching, you put it on, and it stops itching instantly. It doesn't stay like if you're allergic, the swelling will not go away. But the sting, like a feeling of it just like instantly. Like if you can sleep from mosquito bite and stuff. So that's what we do then. And so that's one of them is the salve that we made. Other one we made a honey infusion. So this one is honey infusion. And this one we prepared herbs with oils as a base for the next salve. So it has to stay for 6-8 weeks. So this is a salve, and then when it cools off, it turns like a more thick hourglass. And also with activities around, if people come, they can go to, we don't have courses, but the neighbors do. And there's other activities. So this is kind of fun. And we also have eight holes disc golf course on that property if people want to play. It also was there, and we got it. And this is youth playing. This is our garden. So this year I tried to do watermelons and cantaloupes and honeydews, and you can see they're just doing like really nicely. And this is our cucumbers. This is squashes. And nothing tastes better than grown food at home. It just tastes different. So people think like, well, if I want to be plant-based person, this is very healthy. That's what doctor tells, and I'm not saying not. I mean, plant-based is a power in it. But people think I'll go to the store, I buy all these vegetables, and I eat, and I'll be healthy. But if you know what was put into vegetables, then they will grow in. It's not like don't eat vegetables because you have nothing else to eat. It's better than nothing, right? But you know how many chemicals in that thing? And also the production of vegetables right now is the dirt is overused. So they don't replenish it with minerals anymore. So you buy food and it's lacking minerals. And minerals are essential for the body to function properly. So that all those vegetables and fruits, they have half of the ingredients they need, but then you grow them themselves and you know what you put in the soil. You know, like I use only um, natural remedies for the garden. I never use any chemicals, and everything grows like really well. This is who knows what. Huh? It's a service berries. Service berries. Very nutritious. They have lots of much more elements even than blueberries. And it was trees by the river. I got 2 buckets for 2 hours, free. And so this is strawberries. My husband, he never had grown garlic before. So when I harvested, he says, "Why is the garlic black? It's supposed to be white." I said, "Oh, you have to peel it." Because it's in the dirt, it's supposed to be dirty. He thought that the garlic grows white and you take it, it comes out white. But then you have to clean it to make it white. And this is, do you know what this is? The huckleberries. Yeah, they also have lots of mushrooms there. This is our tomato plants. That was last year picture. The onions, the beets. And these are the herbs. So when I started to explore property, I suddenly realized that under my feet is huge pharmaceutical company right there. Almost any plant you need is there. It was just amazing. And only I didn't have was hickory. So well, the hickory didn't grow in that area at all. I didn't see it anywhere. Like you have by the side of the road, nowhere. And this year it had grown in my garden. These tall. I said, wow, how cool is that? Where did they come from? I had no clue. And this is the beauty around the scenic thing that we planned on, that we asked that. So this is our road that goes to our house. This is still by our house across the road. This is in town, this one. That's around us. And this is the winter road. So basically every time I take kids to the school, I drive through this beauty and I drive and they keep screaming, "Oh, watch the road!" Because I'm like, "Oh, so beautiful." It changes every 10 minutes. You drive back and it already looks different. It's just amazing how it does. So this is how beautiful it is. So then this is our backyard from the shop side. And then we have animals. I don't know why we have. People say, "What are you doing now?" I said, "Oh, feed them." So that's our cows, and I tried to make homemade cheese. That was pretty good. I mean, I didn't do it often because like fat is not good for you. Just experimented. It turned out really awesome. It's so easy. It takes 10 minutes to make your own cheese, and there's no chemicals in it. You know, if you buy milk from the store, like 10% is a Clorox, literally, because many people say I am intolerant to the milk, right? To the lactose. But the people don't know that every time the milk company, they run the milk through the pipes, they have to flush it with Clorox every 10 minutes, the pipes. And they don't wash it after that, they just keep going with the milk. So you have lots of Clorox in your milk. So if you drink milk, at least drink your own milk or some from your neighbors that doesn't have chemicals in it. And lots of people say that the milk causes breast cancer, prostate cancer, all that stuff. So it's people don't know if it's from the chemicals in the milk or from milk itself. So at least if you use milk, use your own. And this is mozzarella, which was really good. It looks like ice cream, but it's mozzarella homemade. It was just so good. With mashed potatoes and the garlic. You know those garlic flowers? Those you just like sticks, yeah. You kind of mash them with a little bit basil and salt, little bit butter, and then put on top. Oh, it just smells so amazing. And then the other animals, this donkey came from neighbors and just stayed with us. They didn't want him, so he just his own donkey. It's my husband's. And this is my dog in the window. They said, "It smells really good here, guys. What are you eating?" And another animal, that's my husband. And then you live in a country, which is me. And I never had driven tractor in my life. Never. So I came to buy hay because we ran out of hay and I really need the hay. And the guy said, yeah, come over. So I came, said, oh, okay, hello, I'm here. They said, oh, the tractor is by the shed just loaded. Okay. Well, I guess if it's so, like usually guys are very careful about the equipment. They wouldn't let women drive it if it's not safe, right? At least my husband wouldn't. And it's expensive tractor, so I said, okay, yes, it should be easier if he just load it, okay? So I came in and I tried to, and it doesn't go, it doesn't do anything. I said, well, maybe I need to Google how to do it. Apparently, it had 9 speeds, different. Like you have like it has three levers, and you have like 3 positions, 7 positions, and the 21 total or something. I forgot already, but it was like you have to do one and another. So it was really scary because behind this tractor was a building. If I do wrong way, I'll just crash the building. Or if I don't do it right, I will crash my truck. Then I put hay in it. It was just like really scary. So I didn't put it like normally. I just lifted up and just dropped it. But yeah, it was experience. And there's lots of good friends that are sea-minded when you live in a country that look for herbs and plants and gardening and all that stuff. And this is a shop, as I told you. Remember, in the plan was a place for mother-in-law to live. And this shop on the other side, there is separate entrance and there's beautiful apartment inside. There is a bathroom, there is kitchen, living room, bedroom, closet, everything. The previous owner actually lived in this place, not in the house. So the place for mother-in-law, right? And on this side across, right here, there is 8 garages to keep stuff. So that's what, and this is a church. And I don't know why we don't see it outside, but it's Bear Creek Resort emptied and calm. So now what we do, I was thinking, my God, how can we use our property? Because you gave it to us, what we can do. And I still have this passion to teach these classes that I learned about remedies and country living, sustainable living to people. So God told me, like I said, I saw a dream, and like all classes should be free. So well, how can I do this free classes? I have expenses like a teacher and or stuff. So anyway, so okay, I'll do it. So if people bring a group of people, if you bring group like family reunion, church outing, or any kind of group, teenagers, you can pick the classes you want, and we will teach them for free. So yeah, so that's you people go on vacations anyway. You still pay money for rent of the cabins and stuff. So that way you can have a retreat and have free education. And then another thing, half of the cabins I wanted to do because I said, God, all I do, 16,000 square feet, remember, all I do just clean and clean and clean and clean. I have no time for ministry. And God told me, like, half of it just rent it out. So you don't have to clean all the time, like constantly. People slept one night, you have to clean. People slept 2 nights, you have to clean, right? So rent it out so you have stable income, and then you can, for the rest of the time, you can do ministry because I want to do ministry for local youth, for teenagers, for local women. There's lots of things to do now in that area. So this is what um, it's not offered yet. So we have Seventh Day Adventist nursing homes. I saw like few that you come and it's like a real nursing home but Seventh Day Adventist. But what I found out that most of the people they don't want to go to nursing home unless you have to. You retire and you leave until you already like can't, and then they send you to the nursing home, right? But there is lots of people who are still able to live independently and they send to nursing home because just in case. Like you are 80 years old, she's walking, she's cooking, she's doing everything. But what if you fell down and break your neck? What if you fell down and something happened and then nobody around and what are you going to do? So this is what we offer. We offer independent Seventh-day Adventist uh, faith-based living, and people can come and stay, and we check on them. So it's not nursing home, but we always come every day, say, hey, how are you? How are you feeling today? If they need to go to store or to the church appointment and can't, we can take them there. But mostly they just enjoy life, and it's beautiful, scenic. They just have normal life, and they just enjoy that lifestyle. They dreamed all their life, but they couldn't because they had to live in a city. They had to raise kids. They had to work. They had busy. Now you come and can live your dream life. Then you retire. So I thought it would be pretty awesome, and it's an exquisite opportunity because there is lots of ministry opportunities in that area. Lots of volunteer opportunity. If you want to work with teenagers, with youth, if you want to just do anything in the area, there's so much work to do. And I'm thinking to use lodge also for more classes and stuff. And the garden, we have 2 acres garden. If you want to put something of, your own produce, you can, and we can use mine too. Just make it like a big community garden. We have orchard too, but deers ate like half of it. So I was protecting it from deer, and then I just gave up. So they ate it up to here. They can't reach here. So all my trees keep growing. That's why. And the bottom, I'm like, okay, I'm done. I'm not gonna even bother. So they still keep growing, but lower. So that's it. And this is what help you can do. You can volunteer, come. If you wanna come and help us, help me with my chainsaw, so it'll be easier for me. um, the staying is free. So you can come and stay those cabins, no charge, and put 2 3 days and help us. There's lots of clearing. People didn't clear the area, and lots of brush and it was not safe for the fire safety. So I need to clean it up, and it takes so much time to do it with all the other work I have to do.
To be aware of new videos like this one, be sure to subscribe to the Preparing for the Time of Trouble channel. For more free videos and downloadable audio podcasts, as well as handouts, go to www.preparingforthetimeoftrouble.com. Topic categories include recordings of live seminar presentations, country living, sustainable gardening, homestead remedies, how to be self-sufficient when the grid goes down, wild edible and medicinal plants, hydrotherapy, and end-time Bible prophecies. To take advantage of these free resources, go to preparingforthetimeoftrouble.com.